Since this video is about the tears God created, it's only right to begin by looking at the incredible way He designed our eyes, crafted with purpose, even down to how they produce every tear. Have you ever cried alone and wondered if anyone noticed? What if I told you God did? Psalm 56:8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." Today, we're going to explore how deeply God cares, even for your tears. Psalm 56:8 uses figurative language, not literal. When it says God has collected all my tears in your bottle, it's not describing a physical bottle, or God performing a literal act of tear collection. Instead, this is poetic imagery used to express how intimately and personally God cares about our pain and suffering. Let's explore David's beautiful verse together. But before we do, let's give praise to our amazing Father on how beautifully He designed our eyes. You keep track of all my sorrows. This emphasizes God's awareness of every hardship and emotional wound we go through. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. This metaphor reflects God's tender compassion. In ancient cultures, tear bottles were sometimes used to collect the tears of mourners as a symbol of grief. The verse uses that imagery to say, none of your suffering is ignored or forgotten by God. You have recorded each one in your book. Again, not literal bookkeeping, but a way of saying, God remembers. Your tears matter deeply to Him. This powerful verse is not meant to give us a scientific or physical picture of God, but rather to convey His emotional closeness, empathy, and care in a way that touches the human heart. This is a loving God, not a statue that has no feelings. He truly hears, sees, and speaks. We serve an amazing Creator. From Psalms to Revelation, the message is clear. Your suffering matters to God. He is not rushed or dismissive with your wounds. He draws near when your heart is shattered, not away. Every tear you've cried, whether in despair, confusion, or raw grief, He has seen and treasured. You are not weak for feeling deeply. You are human, and God meets you there. He doesn't rush you to move on. Instead, He sits with you in the silence, holds your grief with reverence, and reminds you that your pain has meaning. In a world that often overlooks emotional wounds, God sanctifies them. He turns sorrow into something eternal, collected, remembered, and ultimately redeemed. From Psalms to Revelation, the Bible paints a picture of a God who doesn't just tolerate our sorrow, He honors it. He's close to the brokenhearted. He collects every tear, as if each one were precious. This isn't a distant, detached deity watching from afar. This is a God who steps into our pain, who walks with us through the valley, who kneels beside us in our grief. In the Psalms, we see David cry out in anguish, and we see God respond, not with indifference, but with tenderness. And in Revelation, we're promised a day when God Himself will wipe every tear from our eyes. That's not just comfort for the future, it's affirmation for the present. Your sorrow is not ignored. It is sacred. Even though Jesus is described as fully God, He also fully embraced the human experience, including sorrow, grief, and emotional pain. He wept not out of weakness, but out of love, compassion, and deep connection to human suffering. His tears show that God is not distant or unmoved. In Jesus, we see a God who grieved and wept at Lazarus' tomb. He felt the deep weight of rejection and spiritual blindness as Jerusalem turned away from His messiahship and agonized in sorrow before His own suffering in Gethsemane. These moments reveal that God's heart is tender. He knows our pain, and He feels it with us. His tears are proof that divine strength includes empathy, not just power.